It's called a lance. Hello?
Dang. How do I start podcasts? Let me think.
Hello, and welcome back to It's Called a Lance.
You're all starting this podcast for me. I appreciate that. Hello. We still believe, all three of us believe it's called a lance, and as of right now, we're all hosting at the same time.
In my absence, we became the Hydra. Hate to break it to the crowd.
Well, I am one of your three hosts, William SRD, and I can't introduce my co-hosts today because they're also the host.
Yes. Hello, I'm Hauntie. Nice to meet you. I mean, we've met. We've never met. This is a podcast. You know what I mean.
You've
nice to have you here.
parasocially met Hauntie.
Yes. The sweet parasocial connections that bind us all together on the internet.
And for the least awkward introduction, hello, I'm co-host.
Damn,
shit, that was smooth. He's so good. He's so good. How's he do that?
I have no idea.
I watched a lot of episodes of It's Big Feats.
Oh my god, it's made you too strong.
Damn,
it's a Mountain Man
podcast.
He was banking it's real good.
Charisma.
Yeah, he was like Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber.
So before we get into too much of anything else, Austin, you have done some catch-up reading, I believe. What did you think? You want to give us a quick 2 minutes? What did you think of the last 4 chapters that were from the episode you missed?
Well, I really dug it. I was a little weirded out by the Hammer side quest that was not brought up in anything. I assume it's a short story out there somewhere.
They released it as a novel 30 years later.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. That makes perfect sense.
And as an adventure module that I still insist was not part of the original published Dragonlance modules.
Yeah, the module was released in parallel, and it was apparently part of that third module where you're escorting the refugees. We didn't think the Hammer quest was in the module, but a number of commenters said yes, it was, and I bow to the will of the comment section in this.
I'll fight them.
If only we had some kind of ability to look back at a past module that might have been released.
We literally could solve this with a scribd account, but
the technology just doesn't exist.
Nope.
So after the Hammer, what did you think?
I've been having a lot of fun with it. Again, it's starting to become winter. Everyone is cold. Everyone is still mean to my boy Raistlin for reasons that are still above and beyond my pay grade. They're just people need to be nice to the nerd.
It's true.
Well, I mean, in this case, he's being bullied because he literally looks and acts like he's Snively Whiplash, right?
Yeah, but when everybody treats you like Snively Whiplash, you're just gonna start acting like that Snively Whiplash.
It's admittedly a self-reinforcing cycle.
I'm just saying,
He couldn't help being born and resembling Megatron, and then everyone was like, well, that's fucking Megatron, obviously.
Yeah.
Plus, he is also kind of just weirding people out, and that's funny. Not in a ha-ha way, but in a oh, I should talk to your parents. But they're dead.
Oh.
We've kind of reached a stage of the book now where they're not on the back roads anymore. They're actually in cities and around large numbers of other characters all the time now. What do you think of the dynamics?
Yes. They met human people again. It was weird. I don't get why mankind is being so uppity with the dwarfs who have lent them this really nice olive branch of somewhere nice and secure to live.
Would you like to live in a hole for the rest of your life?
Compared to the dragon fire that I was dealing with a couple of weeks ago, yes, I would.
We were chatting about that last episode, that the dwarves offered them a gift for getting the hammer back, and the humans were like, this is not a gift we want. Thanks, though.
Yeah, well, next time they could go get the fucking hammer, or they could, I don't know, take the fucking gift.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the fucking ungrateful assholes?
Just because you're a dwarf, Austin, or dwarf adjacent, doesn't mean you can trash talk the refugees like that.
I 100% I can. I have a crippling fear of being buried underground. It has affected my life. I am horribly claustrophobic. It took coaxing for me to start emptying out seed cans in the backs of trucks because of how claustrophobic I am. But, when I was torched by dragons, put into a mine, forced to work to death, and then I'm offered a relatively cozy underground home where I probably don't have to do a whole lot of work because the dwarves are like, well, you can't mine. We don't trust you in there, so just, chill back, eat some mushrooms, have some whatever meat we cook. Just be chill.
Mushrooms are nasty.
I like the alternate version of this book where Austin is the heroes of the Lance, and everyone's like, find us a new home. And Austin goes, no.
Fucking deal with it, yeah?
We're staying here. We're happy here.
They've got mushrooms.
I don't even like mushrooms that much, but I just don't want to fight dragons.
We have mushrooms and free time here.
There are hordes of dragons, gang. I'm not sure if you understand this. Hordes. It's hundreds of dragons just doing dragon shit. I'm gonna stay underground.
Do you remember last book? I believe you made some kind of comment about well, how many dragons could there be? Probably not that many.
Yeah.
I was wrong. They describe hundreds of dragons just kind of dragging it about.
Yep.
I'm not chill with this. I'm just
armies.
Yeah. So, you know what dragons don't do pretty great at? Hanging out underground in the dwarven tunnels. Because the dwarves have massive corkscrews to seal the mountains up. I'm staying the fuck underground.
A wise
Now I'll
choice.
get over my fear.
Yes. Well, I also, before we begin, I must apologize to our commenters. I will not be fighting them over the Hammer of Karis because while Austin was ranting and raving like a madman about mushrooms and free time in small cavey spaces, I was flipping through Dragons of Desolation DL4, and I did in fact find the Hammer of Karis quest, where they have to descend into the spectral tombs of the city of the dead, where the dwarves entomb their dead people. So that quest does exist.
You got one on us. It's never going to happen again, though. You're never going to get us again like that.
I'm going to
because we're going to fact check ourselves before we post these episodes.
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What do we look like? Professionals or something?
Let's get into the summary of the chapters read. Some of this is a rehash from last time, because last episode we tried to cover chapters 1 through 6, and then Hauntie and I yapped for way too long, so we had to cut it off at chapter 4. So we're now doing chapter 4 to 8 today, and let's get into it. All
right.
Tanis interrupting.
Tanis interruptus.
Tanis interruptus.
Tanis, Sturm, Flint, Gilthanis, and Tass, bound in chains, are dragged to prison by the town guards for the crimes of being cool and unique in a city full of losers. A mob forms to throw things at the arrested heroes, and Tass riles them all up and is soon black-bagged by the equivalent of an unmarked van. Sturm stands up for another prisoner, a lady who turns out to be Alhana Starbreeze, an elven princess of great renown. The heroes are thrown into prison with her, but are soon busted out by Tass, who has now befriended a trio of incognito Solamnic knights. He's assisted them in translating an ancient book, using some stolen not stolen magic glasses, and learning of an orb that controls dragons. We also learn that Sturm isn't yet properly knighted. The dragon attack on Tarsus begins. The formerly imprisoned heroes attempt to rush back to the tavern to meet with their friends, but find themselves trying to survive the mass death that surrounds them. Sturm shields Alhana, and the elf suddenly realizes that she's caught feelings. She impulsively allows the knight to hold on to her magic gem, which is later revealed to be a gift given between elfin lovers. She promptly runs as far away from him as she can. The gang limps back to the tavern. Raistlin and the others formulate a plan to take a fast-acting poison, rather than be taken alive. But fortunately, Tanis and the others arrive in time. Half the tavern collapses when a dragon attacks it, and Tanis is separated from Lorana after an emotional embrace. The above-ground team flees from the tavern before the Draconians arrive, while Alhana arrives on a griffin to commandeer the below-ground half of the party to help her save the Sylvanesti elves. The party is now fully split, and it seems like it will be a long time before they meet again.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and every GM ever is super pissed right about now.
Well, I think
the
this
party
was
in a
they
way
added too many. They added too many characters to the party, and they just needed to like split the team entirely. Be like, all right, I'm doing separate sessions for this half of the game.
Oh, that's fair.
I have had to do that before. I had a game hit like 12 players, and I was like, enough is enough.
Oh, ooh. That was my first table, actually. It was a combo of high school and middle school kids.
Yep, that was
run
the
by,
age. Me too.
Run by one of my favorite people, who I will not name because I don't want to dox them. But they were super rad.
Nice.
Yeah,
Like a
they
super
got me
rad
started down this grim, dark path of fucking Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer 40k.
Oh, it's that guy's fault.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
He ruined your life by sending you to us.
No,
she,
he ruined my...
Or they.
They ruined my life by sending me into the waiting arms of my Skaven army that still looks at me, longing to be played.
Their little rat eyes.
Their little super illegal in where I live eyes.
Oh, yeah, shit. You're going to get the fucking Alberta rat police after you.
I can take them.
True.
I don't know. I throw keys or something at them.
All right. Well, let's get into these chapters.
Yes.
So
we are starting with what, chapter 5?
Yeah. Or actually, wait. We sometimes do this. We sometimes forget. But so these chapters that we've just read, 5 through 8, how did they hit overall for you guys?
I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
They kind of feel like I'm having a hard time remembering the parallel, but they kind of feel like a parallel to something that's already happened. I think, like, was it in Haven, or I can't remember if it's something from the previous book or if it's something I'm remembering from the next book.
The Quayshu village?
No, more like how they keep having trouble every time they go to a city.
Oh, yes. They do tend to do that, don't they?
Yeah, every time that...
Yeah.
Well, hey, that is not entirely true. They had a really nice thing going in the Dwarf City, but then the ungrateful refugees...
You know, you're not wrong. We also know that the party is just wildly incompetent with disguises. They have never successfully pulled off a disguise without getting spotted.
It's true.
Yes. Again, they have a rogue in the party. You figured he'd come with a disguise kit or something?
He's not a rogue, Austin. He's a handler. He handles things.
Yeah.
Was that his class? Really? Tass's class was handler? Did he just have a Kender class?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just a thief. But M's trying to... Hauntie is trying to make a point here. My counter argument... my counter argument to this point is, man, it would be nice if he could have handled some disguise kits.
You know, yes, Tasselhoff was an 8th level thief at this time.
Ah, okay.
So,
damn.
Yeah,
there you go.
For me, I was like, for chapters 5 and 6, I was like, okay, yeah, we're back. I think I really like Tarsus made quite an impression on me as a teenager reading this, and was like, yeah, we're back. And then the dragons attacked, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're back. This is the Dragonlance I remember.
Yes.
I feel like from here on, I'm just going to be freaking out, reliving my memories. Because everything before now was like, yes, I have some pleasant, nice memories of this, and this is a decent book, but like, now this is the Dragonlance I remember and love.
Yeah. It's no more like, here's an individual dragon with a colorful backstory and another individual dragon with a colorful backstory, and the vague suggestion of dragon-oriented damage on a town or village that you just happen to walk into. Now we're actually getting into the war, right?
Yeah,
Dragon
because
armies.
there's hordes of dragons. Enough dragons to blot out the sun.
Yes.
You'll
So
love
many.
to see it.
No, I don't
do
love to see it.
I mean, you love to see the sun, but they don't let you.
Yeah, I am waiting for the other foot to drop, and we finally get some like metallic
Oh, it
dragons
will.
or something. Who I don't know. I
not in the way
assume
you
have been
expect.
power napping for the last 10,000 years.
I cannot confirm or deny anything.
Yeah. Nor should you.
Chapter 5.
I mean,
The Riot. Tass disappears. Alhana Starbreeze.
Yes. And a lovely little picture of a jewel, a bit of jewelry here.
Top tier fantasy doodad, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a brooch, a nice little brooch.
yeah, it was a nice thing that Sturm was given.
Yeah, and it's so detailed. You know, a jeweler could. I wonder if a jeweler has actually ever made this, because all the detail is there. You could absolutely.
Oh,
Craft it.
probably.
Yeah,
Right
you had
down
a
to
pin
the
on the
like
back,
detail.
and it's a beautiful functional brooch. Like, damn.
Like we
Do
know
we
somebody
learn what color the gem is? It's blue in my head. Is that right?
In my head, it's blue as well.
Yeah, I think it was described as blue. I don't remember if they actually named the gems.
I'm not
I
sure.
think it's blue. I'm pretty sure it's blue. We'll
It
get
must
there.
be.
I might have highlighted
It sounds right
somewhere.
for it to be blue. Anyway, things being
yeah.
dragged off in chains. Rocks are getting thrown because they hate knights.
Yes.
And cool people.
They hate cool people. If you're cool,
Yeah.
if you're like anything other than a human fighter, they hate you here.
Oh boy, howdies! They would have all probably died if Raistlin was there.
Yeah, this goddamn town would like erupt in flames if your average 5th edition party walked through.
Oh no! There would be no survivors.
The brooch is diamonds.
Diamonds.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Transparent.
Maybe there's blue tinted diamonds. I don't know. I'm not a geologist.
Yeah. Great big diamonds. So yes. I like this chapter. We're gonna go in. You know, I think it's an interesting turn for Sturm finally. Possibly a tragic one according to Tannis's feelings.
There were a lot of times in the first book where Sturm didn't feel like he had a character arc. Now
Yeah.
we can clearly see his arc is beginning.
Yes.
Which is nice because Sturm has been a lot of people's favorite character, and I was not seeing a lot of appeal after a little bit with him.
Yeah, Sturm's an interesting character because you love him a lot more at the end of the story than like throughout. We've mentioned this a couple times before, but this book here, this is Sturm's book.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Which I am 100% looking forward to, because for the most part, Sturm has just been kind of cranky and a little racist. And harsh on my boy Raistlin, who again has done nothing wrong.
True.
Yet,
Raistlin
has done nothing wrong
He's an angel
yet.
and a saint.
Well,
He's
let's not
just
go
a
that
little
far.
baby. Don't hurt him.
Yeah. I mean,
A
there
little
must be
red-robed
something.
baby.
It must, why not? Fizban, apparently, according to this chapter, was willing enough to teach Raistlin some new spells. Would Fizban have taught Raistlin magic if he didn't think it would be used responsibly?
Yeah, and as we all know from the spoiler warning from the fucking Dragonlance movie, we all know who Fizban is.
A dead man. A dead man.
Dead. He is super dead, and I'm still mad.
Like Mr. Magoo falling off of a construction site.
Only
Absolutely
to give
nothing happened.
Tasselhoff with a feather.
Yeah.
Poor boy. Speaking of Tasselhoff, a constable blows whistle, and Tass reveals that he knows exactly what the constable can do with that whistle.
Yeah, and it starts a riot.
Where they can really run their mouth.
Yes, the Kender taunt.
Yeah. He's just really good at wordplay, and nobody else can take the hot burns.
It's true.
And it's presented as, this is a useful ability that the Kender use to, like, make people so mad that they, like, make mistakes.
Yes.
And, it's presented like, he's probably used this a bunch of times. Like, the gang knows what this is. They know that, like, Tass, like, is able to do this and it, like, benefits the party. But they see him do it in this context and they just go, no, stop, Tass, no, not now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is an ability that the party knows that Tasselhoff has, and they didn't gag him ahead of time.
Well, they often don't think about him, actually, very often.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Yeah, he only is really ever mentioned when he himself is bringing himself up. unless it's Flint. Flint brings him up a lot as well. But the two shorties in the party tend to
be super best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tasselhoff does use it, and predictably it causes a riot.
Yes, it does.
During that riot, Tasselhoff is bagged and dragged away by unknown people.
Yes, indeed. He's gone.
Totally.
See, there are so many
forever.
comments I want to make that I am refraining from. So many.
Make
and
some
then,
of them. Oh, well, you got black
at least
bagged.
one.
Yeah.
Is
Comment
ice
is just
here?
saying the word ice. Yeah, I knew that's where it was going.
And by ice, I am talking about that beautiful brooch that is coming up. That is some nice ice.
Alhana's got some real ice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I could recover myself.
Yeah.
And
Fuck the
next,
police.
They end up in jail or in detention.
They
It's not
do,
really
but
in jail, but
we get a scene first with everybody back at the tavern. Does anything significant happen there?
Raistlin has some little conversations.
Yeah, Raistlin is doing some bonding. He's actually becoming human-like. He's making like some positive choices, talking to some people, trying to make some friends. That isn't just his brother.
Oh, and
but he's
Lorana's
also
trying to grill him for info about his little prophecy.
Yeah, and he's being obtuse about it.
Well, he seems a bit disturbed by the line of questioning too, right?
Yeah, because I think this was after for the questioning, after he had an outer body experience, kind of.
Kind of.
Somebody was speaking through him, but it wasn't him.
Yes.
Or is that later?
I don't remember. But if we're on the page that I'm thinking of, it is actually a pretty good conversation with Raistlin, though. He's not really being obtuse in this conversation, I would say. In fact, he's actually showing a bit of a bit of uncharacteristic humility, or maybe not humility, but like self-knowledge, because he does say that like what was done to him was done to remind him of his mortality and teach him compassion. And then he acknowledges that he was proud and arrogant in his youth, right? He's like, I was going to show them all. And he's like, and I showed them. They fucking broke me.
Yeah, they kicked my ass.
And we get a little moment where, right after that, where Raistlin's like, I won't say creeping on Lorana, but that would be what people would think he's doing if they just saw this. Well, he's about to, and then he like doesn't.
Yeah, because we learn that that he does not see her aging because she is an elf and a young elf at that. So he doesn't see any of the hallmarks of mortality on her, which for him must be very startling.
Yeah, it probably is pretty weird for a guy who sees everybody rotting away.
Yeah. And which also, sort of further confirms that his sight really is some kind of like, it's tethered to time rather than just simply an illusion of a grotesque illusion. He's actually seeing the effects of time on people because otherwise he would see her as rotten as well if it was simply an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So
maybe
calls
Loriana
you old,
is going to live forever.
He do. I mean, he must look at really old people as like walking skeletons, right? Like,
oh yeah.
It does raise a very interesting question for me that we can cut from the pod. But what do you think he looked when he looked at Fizzban? What do you think he saw?
We got some mention of that.
I don't remember.
He was like, this guy's not what he seems, and he wields some magic he should not have.
Okay, that's fair.
We never get it's never described what Raistlin sees, but we were given Raistlin's reaction to what he saw.
Fair.
Times. Yeah. But yeah, I think that all makes sense for Raistlin, though. I mean, all of this, he it just kind of reaffirms that he is not being arrogant necessarily. Like, he's not being hubristic when he's kind of talking over everybody else as if he's smarter than them, because he does possess the self-knowledge necessary, right, to sort of reframe his attitude as like actually just being accurate. Like when he's like, I know more about this than you do. And when he's like, my magic spells are more powerful than what you can do with your sword. Blah, 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 blah. He's actually being honest. There's critical assessment backing up, his statements of his own sort of self-importance.
I mean, he's still a jerk about it, but with great power comes great jerkdom.
Well, and also everyone else is a jerk to him, too.
His powers are real. He's allowed to be a theater kid about it.
Yeah. If I could throw fireballs, I would get a little snooty sometimes.
I mean,
I do the like anime thing where I like put my hand in front of my face and then I monologue. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes.
you know, Hauntie, you can throw fireballs. It just requires a lot more chemistry and broken laws.
Yes. I don't have time for either. Not yet.
You always have time for chemistry.
We all wish to become independently wealthy so that we can engage in our fireball hobby.
It's true.
And that's why we need you all to go over and subscribe to the Handful of Nerds.
Yes. No. Raistlin also talks a bit about the family history with Kitiara and Caramon and all of that as well. And his mom, who we learned was a seer and all of this other stuff. The dark family history of the family Majir.
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of.
I believe Lorana asks like, "What the hell was Kitiara like?" And Raistlin's like, "Babe, she was rough."
Yeah, pretty much.
Not like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. She was hardcore.
Yes.
Kitiara is described as like a foul-mouthed biker chick almost by Dragonlance standards.
Yeah. I think the last thing I know that Raistlin says in his conversation with Lorana that I found pretty interesting and which kind of connects back to Lorana's argument with Tanis back in Thorbarden where she was like, you sure want us to think that you're worth following, and or whatever else that she said. Raistlin gives his assessment, which is that the reason, they all follow Tanis is because he does the one thing that none of them do, which is like listen to his feelings. Says like he doesn't suppress them as does the knight or hide them as does the plainsman. Tanis realizes that sometimes a leader must think with his heart and not his head. And then he tells her to remember that. So he's kind of like going to bat for Tanis there too, like kind of being a wingman a little bit.
Yeah, that's because he's the ultimate wing bro.
Yeah.
I think
what I find
Raistlin's always like this. No, I'm not following Tanis though. I would never. But like I think like deep down he is following Tanis and he really likes Tanis. He just won't say it.
Absolutely. And I think that's because, just like he was saying, like he doesn't suppress the feelings, he doesn't hide from the feelings, etc., right? Like these other people do. He sacrifices his feelings, right? Like regularly. Like we've seen evidence several times already that Raistlin, was trying to save the refugees from greater danger by yelling at them so that they wouldn't leave the dwarven city. He says these mean, nasty things to Sturm all the time to try and get him to vacate a dangerous situation. All sorts of stuff. He's constantly being a jerk to save people from themselves. Yeah. And so that he has feelings for people. He has feelings of concern, I think, and compassion and care for people around him. He just sacrifices them because he has an agenda that he believes is more important, right? Which for him is the pursuit of power, I guess. But they're there. And so like everybody else in the party, the one thing he's not doing is following his feelings. So of course he's following Tanis.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
For now.
Yeah.
For now. No,
I do not be traveling in the same direction.
Same direction, just for the time being. For a little bit. Short term.
Yeah.
Temporary.
Yeah.
Follow?
I mean...
Hardly.
Jeez.
Though I would
why
never
you gotta
follow
listen to
someone
your
when
heart.
I have the staff of Magius.
Yes. Have you seen him? He's a fuckboy. I would never follow that. I mean, Lorana, you should marry him. He's marriage material. Absolutely. Go for it. He's a great dude. I would want Raistlin wingmanning for me.
Raistlin is a weirdly good wingman. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hang out with Raistlin. I'd get a beer with him.
Mm-hmm. Raistlin comes off as like pretty cool if he likes you and you like him back. Really, he will like you if you're nice to him. So like that's all.
Yeah.
If you like Raistlin, Raistlin's going to be great to be around.
Well, I mean, you got to get through his hard exterior because he's going to be a dick to you out the gate. But that's like a self-defense mechanism.
Right. If only I could be Boo-Boo in his world. Oh my god.
Yeah, if only we could all be a Boo-Boo to somebody.
Yeah.
You're both
just
welcome to be
all
my
the time
Boo-Boo.
in the friendliest way. Aw, thanks.
I've always thought of you both as a bit of a Boo-Boo.
Oh.
Will, I'm married, but
All right. Moving on.
Moving on. So now we get to the prison thing. What happens here?
So they are in fact going to jail, at least for right now.
Yes.
Because they're awaiting trial and sentencing, so they're definitely in jail, not prison.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Are they even in jail yet? It seems to me like they're just kind of in the lobby of whatever.
Yeah,
the jail
I would imagine
like,
that they're going to the courthouse jail, like the holding cells in the courthouse.
Yeah, because they're meeting the lord of the city, who it turns out is not that terrible of a dude.
Is surprisingly reasonable.
Yeah, he may simply be lacking some crucial information, or perhaps like some politicians making compromises that he thinks are going to be advantageous. But
boy howdy, does he think those are going to be advantageous?
Yeah, right. He even seems sympathetic to the Knights of Solamnia, actually, like which is a bit surprising considering how much the people of the city hate them. So I'm intrigued by the Lord.
Yeah, I
as
hope
he's
he
called.
does actually get some more screen time later on.
By the way, come back for our Christmas gospel episode called "I'm Intrigued by the Lord."
Oh no!
Oh, Will, why would you say that? Because now we're going to have to do it. The audience will expect it.
Yes, it's true. We'll
Way to
find
go.
out everything we can. No, we'll make.
We're going to have to do a short story about this all by ourselves.
Hallelujah.
I'll write a Harlequin romance short about the Lord.
I am
in this book. How about
100%
that?
game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do a dramatic reading.
Yes. No, you can do a dramatic reading. I'll write
yes.
it. You can read it, Austin.
Oh, I will
That's
be
the
very
combo.
dramatic about it.
Got the screenwriter and the talent.
Yes.
Hey, whoa,
I'll be the big
let's
promoter.
Yes,
not
indeed.
go that far. Me? Talent?
You'll have to admit it to yourself at some point. Anyway, they
Yes.
meet a girly
They
while
do
in
meet a
custody.
girly. Alhana Starbreeze.
Yeah.
A baddie, if ever I've
Yeah. Yeah. Who was being harassed by the guards, and
Yes.
our boy Sturm was not having this.
And we
Correct,
have
yeah,
seen
yeah.
Sturm protect ladies in a pretty chaste way before, but this time he clearly doesn't really know what he doesn't know what he's in for. He does his typical, because he stood up for Goldmoon a bunch of times and it's never been in a romantic way, and this time he steps up to do the same thing, and he looks at her, and suddenly he's the only one in the room who hears fucking Kiss from a Rose playing mysteriously.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Duh, duh, duh.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know how much we can do that before we get copyright
God.
struck.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
we would be flattering ourselves a lot to assume copyright will be pinged.
Hey. You're not wrong, but I just want Seal to notice me.
But we learned that Alhana is already known to the city guard because she had previously, I guess, visited looking for material support from the city for her people.
Mercenaries.
Yes, mercenaries. And then they asked her to leave, and then she came back, and that, I guess, broke their rule, and so now she is under arrest.
Well, I mean, can you blame her? She's like, well, I have to get mercenaries. And they were like, go away. But they're also like, judging by the Dragonlance map, this is the only city for just an absurd distance. There is nothing else anywhere. So where is she going to get mercenaries? She's going to go another continent over? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
No. This is pretty much the one and only place where you can go find some mercenaries.
Yes. Let's see here. What else was there? There's also a draconian in the room. That seems important.
Yeah. Again, this all comes more or less back to you should never trust any kind of dragon person who may or may not have worked with a dude named Verminard. I don't want to judge a book by its name, but it's there.
It's the double A's in
true.
Verminard for me. You can't trust someone with the double A's in their name. I can trust an Aaron. I can't trust a double A Aaron.
You can't trust an AA
yeah.
in an
An
AA. Yeah,
Because
I
his
get
name
that.
could have been Verminard, but instead it's Verminard.
Verminard.
I'm just saying,
I am
nah,
Lord Verminard.
his
It's like, ooh, you are sinister.
vermin is in the name.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I feel, man, I kind of feel a little bad because his parents had us stop there and think, oh, what should we name this precious little child of ours? Verminard.
They chose to kick that child in his verminards.
Well,
we gotta-
if you read his novel, you will learn that, in fact, his family were maybe not the best of people, but he was raised, interestingly, as a Solomon. Anyway, that's a totally different book.
Yeah.
A very good book. A very good book.
Well, maybe we'll
Out of all
read
the
that
villain
one
books,
later.
that's the one that I want to read the most. Oh, also, I have to let
That
you
one
all
is
know.
solid. Well, yes.
I have to let you all know that I was showing my partner a bunch of old like Dragonlance art, and she took one look at Verminard and just went, "Will, that's a professional wrestler." And I was like, "You're not wrong."
Yeah.
Like he
no,
literally,
it's
when he smacks
true.
people with his mace, he like shouts the move too. He's like, "Midnight."
Yes.
That's a wrestler.
Oh my god, yeah, he is just a wrestler.
Oh my gosh. You're so right.
I never saw it before. She was cooking with that one.
Yeah. It almost makes me like,
God.
if wink wink I ever run these modules, it almost makes me want to like turn Nightbringer into like a gauntlet or something instead, so he can just use wrestling moves.
Bring me the crystal staff, brother.
See, traditionally,
Fine.
I am here with you, Auntie Hauntie, but I don't want to deal with grappling rules from second edition.
Fair.
I imagine
Ember
they're
is his
just as
ringside-
bad.
When
They're
he
complex,
fucking
but
jumps off the top ropes on top of the dragon onto the party.
Yep. Ember is his ringside manager.
We are getting off topic. What else happens
Yeah.
here? Not a lot in this jail scene.
Yeah. Other than these
we got the meet
conversations,
cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to chapter 6.
Yeah.
Knights of
First question,
Solamnia.
actually. One last question for chapter 5, though, for the two of you. Do you think...
Yeah.
Because Tanis seems a bit concerned about his buddy Sturm, who immediately must have been very obvious that Sturm has the hots for Alhana, because Tanis noticed right away. Which means Alhana probably noticed too. But do we think this is bad for Sturm? Is he making a mistake?
I don't think so, because, like, man, the dude, love makes people do interesting things, and I get that.
I don't think it's bad for Sturm explicitly, but I think Tanis, knowing his history, is like, oh no, this is a disaster.
Yeah.
And then, when Alhana like reciprocates the feeling, when Kiss from a Rose starts playing in her head, she's also like, oh no, this is a disaster.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, because, I mean, we do find out, like, what, at the very end of a chapter, what the Sylvantis elves typically think of humans, and, like, we're led to believe that Sturm is going to get kicked in the heart.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
These Sylvanesti elves are much snootier than the Qualinesti elves.
And,
They
I mean,
are.
the Qualinesti elves were pretty snooty.
Yes, they are to the Qualinesti as the mountain dwarves are to the hill dwarves. They are much more isolationist and much more. There's a word for it. There's a word for people who don't like to interact with other people of different species and races. But
yeah, because the
xenophobic?
Qualinesti
I'm not
were
gonna
like,
say it.
we're all on the same side, but we're prioritizing us. Our plan is to let you guys lead a slave revolt while we run the fuck away. Meanwhile, the Sylvanesti reject that entirely. They're just like, no, we're not on your side.
Yeah, we're not going to hang out
Basically,
with the humans.
The Qualinesti are essentially a little bit ethnocentric or a little bit nationalist, but the Sylvanesti are straight up racist. Basically, is sort of the vibe I feel.
Yeah, xenophobic. But
Yeah.
I think, like, I don't know. I hope this kind of works out for the two of them. I've got my doubts because nothing ever good happens to anyone ever.
But this is
True.
epic fantasy.
Yeah,
This
Has
is
to be
Yeah,
ever
I-
after. He's the
I've
knight in
reached two-
shining armor.
Yeah, I read too much 40k lore to believe in a happy ending.
Fair.
Yeah, but that's grimdark. That's a different
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's nothing
no,
grim or
it's
dark
carried
about
over.
Dragonlance.
It's carried over to everything I do.
Fair. So yeah, chapter 6.
Chapter
Hasselhoff's
6.
glasses of true seeing.
Yeah. The
Which were
conveniently
obtained
borrowed.
honestly.
Yes, very honestly.
I prefer the term liberated from that desk. It was
fun.
It was very important looking.
Fun fact, the glasses of true seeing have, ever since I was a child, been one of my favorite magical items in Dungeons and Dragons because of Dragonlance, and are the reason why, I mean, the listeners, unless they've seen a picture of me, won't know, but the reason why my glasses frames are, in this case, I think octagonal, unfortunately. It's very hard to find hexagonal glasses, but they are the shape they are specifically because I picked the frames that, when I saw them, struck me as resembling the glasses of true seeing. So this is
you're
it's
a
nice
nerd.
to see the little picture here. I'm a huge nerd. I'm a lifelong nerd. But yeah, so I saw these immediately and was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, here we go.
They are some
I forgot
striking
that
glasses.
Tasselhoff had acquired them. Yeah,
They look like they're made of like spiders, spider legs.
right. They're cool.
They're very gothcore glasses. I'm gonna say.
Oh, definitely. Yep. I've been tempted to go. It's off topic, but there's a company you can go to that will make glass custom frames for you to specification out of whatever material you want. I've been very tempted.
That'd be a pretty cool pair of glasses.
It would be. But anyways, moving back on topic because I want to go take my nap.
No.
Yes, I'm so
not.
tired.
So we get
naps.
some draconians scheming outside the cell. Or what we don't know
Yes.
they're draconians yet, but we will in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're just doing the classic like, it's them. We'll have to grab them later. Ha ha ha. They're already dead.
Yes.
And then we end up. Yeah, then they end up like immediately getting saved by the knights, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
The knights.
They don't
Brian
even get to
and
sit
Derek.
down in the cell, really, and then they're already saved.
Yep. We do have a good moment though before they're saved. While they're still in the cell, I think, where between Tanis and Alhana, which I like. Actually, I highlighted it here in my book, where Tanis basically mentions to her, like, it's mentioned that when he's introduced by Gilthanis as Tanis half-elven.
Oh, that's still after they
as son-
escaped, but yeah.
Oh, is it after they escaped?
Yeah, they like just get to the
yeah.
cell and immediately leave
You're
the
right.
cell.
You're right. Okay. It's a good moment, though.
It is a good moment.
Yes, Gilthanis introduces him as son of my uncle's wife, which Tanis sees as a little rude, and then he sort of trauma dumps a little bit onto Alhana right there immediately as a self-defense mechanism, right? Saying his mother was raped by human warriors during the years of darkness following the cataclysm, that he was kindly raised by the speaker. And then Alhana, surprisingly, she's the first Sylvanesti elf we meet, and yet she's also the first. She's immediately just like not like her people, because she's just like, "Do you see a problem with your parentage, dude?" Like, and calls him out on his own internalized racism, and he's just like, "What? What?" And she's like, "Then don't talk shit about yourself anyway," and like moves on to like in the conversation. I'm like, "Damn." She's a bad bitch, but also, like, she's not a bad bitch. Like,
yeah, and I'm going to come out and say this again, maybe controversial. We don't actually know anything about the Sylvanasti elves besides
True.
what, some people
That is
said,
true.
and they could be just, being jerks to them. I don't know.
We know what Alhana says later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Later, but
what I mean is, it's interesting to me that the first Sylvanesti we are met with is one who is going to defy the stereotypes. That's always interesting when an author chooses to do that, and there's clearly, I think, Weis is such a good, strong author that like there's intention behind that choice, right? So I'm excited to get into why that might be in the future.
So am I.
Yeah. And yeah, they're doing the whole like we've been fighting evil for a long time. We need help. Need some adventurers, some soldiers or something
to go and take back our forest. My dad is in danger. Yeah.
Info dump.
Yep. We get told that two of the knights are named Brian and Derek. The The best fantasy names.
Dudes.
Yeah, they're just two
Just some
guys.
eyes.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is my
start doing
bro
as a game
Brian
master.
and Derek.
People are gonna be like, "What's this guy's name?" I'm just gonna stop coming up with fantasy names. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, his name is Joe. This is his buddy John, and that's Chris."
Auntie Hauntie is somebody who has an incredibly difficult time with pronouncing most basic words. I really appreciate what you might be doing.
Yeah.
I can pronounce Joe.
Right.
You didn't say it with the silent
With the-
E.
With the
it's got three apostrophes and
I need to find a new podcast.
Tanis is like, it was really stupid to have come here. You know they don't like elves. And then you tried it again. And Alhana is a little bit Sturm-like in a way, which is probably why they get along, where she's like, hey, it's protocol. I had to keep doing it. I can't not follow the protocol.
it's true.
Yeah, like she's got to.
And her people were in need. I mean, again, like you said earlier, where else was she gonna go?
And then I think we get into the stuff with the glasses. Is that right?
Yeah. This is we do get more information about the glasses and a whole lot of lore about magical balls.
Yeah. And they're just really shit talking Tasselhoff here. Because at first they're like, Tasselhoff, read? That's impossible. He can't read. That's
This
so crazy.
illiterate idiot, him?
Yeah. And then they find out he has magical glasses, and they're like, okay, well, I guess with those he can read, but where did he steal them from? What a thief. Like,
Liberate. Where did he liberate them from?
And this is kind of the first time, because it doesn't really happen in the first book. There's a couple times when Tass like steals stuff in the first book, but like when he steals something, he steals it. Whereas this is the first time we see that kind of, oops, I'm a Kender and I just accidentally end up with objects I don't mean to take.
right.
And that's going to end up being a very iconic Kender thing from here on out.
Yes, and it is in fact a base mechanic for the Kender class or the Kender race in second edition. Even this is what a lot of people get wrong. They always imagine that a Kender in the party is going to be stealing things from the party, when in fact what they actually have is a sort of essentially pockets of many things that allow them to draw from random loot tables randomly to produce items that they would be carrying on themselves. And the reason that mechanic exists is specifically to prevent the Kender player from stealing from the party members at the table. So
Which is
because
they don't need a way to do it.
Yeah, it's very smart.
It's again comes down to problematic players rather than the problematic Kender.
Exactly. And also people's, I think, broken memories. So, if you ever have a Kender at the table, Game Masters, just make sure that the mechanics are explicit.
And, players who are playing it, don't be jerks.
Don't be jerks.
Just avoid the entire scenario and just don't be a jerk.
Yeah. But back to the book.
Yeah.
They found a book in a library.
It will become a bigger thing later, but Sturm and these Solamnic Knights don't seem all that much alike. And it doesn't lead to anything in this chapter, but they don't particularly have chemistry of any sort together. Sturm doesn't, vibe with these guys very hard, and they don't seem to vibe with him. They don't dislike each other yet, but that's going to be a thing later.
Yes.
Yeah, it's it kind of feels like I don't know. They see him as for the jocks of the Solamnic Knights.
I'm not even sure that it's that. He's essentially a hedge knight. He's not actually a part of the order. He just knows the code and is living off in the countryside somewhere.
Yeah, he has the armor and the sword just because they're family heirlooms, essentially. They're not something that he earned through service to the order, which probably also rubs Derek and Brian and Aaron the wrong way.
Also, he doesn't have a cool name like Derek and stuff. He's named Sturm.
Yeah, what a nerd.
Jeez.
We learned that Sturm Brightblade's like a really weird name in Solamnia. Everybody else is John Solamnia.
Yeah, and they all have like kind of complicated last names a lot of the time too. Like some of them have these English compound names like Derek Crownguard and Aaron Talbo, but many more of them have like kind of Germanesque names like Donner and Uth.
Oh,
Uth
that's
something. There's a lot of
that sounds
Uth
fun.
blanks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So let's see here. Turns out Tass was actually pretty essential, though, because not only does he have the glasses that can read the book, but although it's not said explicitly, I think it's implied that his touch is light enough that he can turn the pages of the book without destroying them like Derek and Aaron and Brian were doing.
Yeah, with them and their big dumb human hands.
By the way, did you guys spot the plot hole in this specific scene? It's very small.
Maybe. What is the plot?
No.
Tass is like, oh yeah, when you turn the pages, they like fall apart and disintegrate. Now check out this thing I read on the next page. It's like, wait a second. Tass, how did you turn the page back if you can only flip them once?
True. Yeah. Well, I think it's, I wonder, is that Tasselhoff? What page is that on? I actually want to read that because I think...
Oh, I don't remember.
It's on pages 420. Well, I know someone
where
says...
he tells about the orb, which, by the way, is important. Dragon orb.
Yes. Derek says, even as we touched the pages, they crumbled to dust. And then Tasselhoff has the glasses. And that's what I'm saying is I think that Tasselhoff is gentle enough that he can actually turn the pages of the book without destroying them.
Okay. I'll give you that one, Margaret Weis. You got one over me there.
He's got tiny hands. They're very light because he's a thief, And
first the
thief
comment
dexterity.
section, now the author. Everybody's beating me today, but not next episode.
Yes. And the dexterity of thieves is also pretty legendary in first and second edition. It's almost magic. They can climb sheer walls without gear,
Hey, Hauntie.
Yeah.
He's not a thief. He's a handler.
Touche.
That's a callback.
Touche, Austin, co-host. And A2.
Suck it, nerds.
7,
I'm
not
going
destined
corporate.
to meet
7.
Not destined to meet again in this world. Here's where it kicks off. The War of the Lance. It's finally here.
Yes.
This is where shit gets real. And by real, I mean very fiery for everyone involved.
Mm-hmm. The very first
Derek's
thing we see is that Tasselhoff is now an asset. He's now a military asset, and this will be his fate for the rest of the series.
Yep. Hey, give us the Kender. Or wait, no. Hey, Kender, come with us. No, I won't. Okay, you. Just give us that, Kender. No.
Yeah.
You'll regret this, Brightblade.
Yeah, just hope that I'm not there when you need to get your knight credentials.
Yeah. This is going down on your permanent record.
I mean, and it's in a way, it's clearly showing that there seems to be some flaws already in what we're seeing of the code with these other Solamnics.
Yes.
Because Sturm would get it and probably admire it if someone was like, nope, can't betray my friend. Because, I'm assuming that's part of the code is, like, you can't, like, betray people like that. You can't turn against your friends. Whereas these knights are like, you're being honorable? You'll regret this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's kind of an interesting... I mean, I think the easiest analog would be if someone was, like, deeply in love with the Knights of the Round Table, right? As a concept and kind of patterned their behavior and life perfectly after that model, and then was suddenly interacting with actual real-world historic knights and the way they really behaved and what chivalry actually meant. And that's got to be rough on our boy here.
Yeah, Sturm's just seen like Galahad kick a peasant in the leg for no reason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he just wants to be like Huma, right? And these guys are not like that. But we did get told in a previous chapter that, one of the things that had happened just before the Cataclysm was that even the Knights of Solamnia that far back had sort of fallen into a rote dedication to their faith and everything else, that it had become like mechanical for them, that the fire and the heart of their faith in their order and the gods who supported their order had diminished significantly. And that was just right before the Cataclysm. It's been a long time, so
yep,
it's unlikely that the knights turned things around. We're seeing.
It's true. And then the dragons fly overhead.
Yes, they do.
And this is a really great scene. I absolutely love the Dragon High Lord attack. Yeah.
I think it also it's rich. It's very rich. Is this the one? Is this the 7th chapter where they mentioned the young red dragon, or is this?
It's either at the end
it's either
of
7
this
or 8.
Chapter, or beginning of 8. Either way, we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah. Because that's something I really want to.
But yeah, it's interesting that like they're burning the hell out of this city, but like. And they're clearly meaning to kill not just civilians, but a lot of civilians. But there is just the barest amount of care that they're showing to not completely destroy everything, because they have hundreds of dragons. But instead of just like everyone swarms, they're like, there's some regimented groups of 3 to 5 who are doing the burning. It's not like swarm and destroy everything.
For using tactics, right? It's it's a nice reminder that dragons are not mindless creatures. They're more intelligent than people traditionally.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, like, if you start swarming, people are going to start cutting into each other, and then then dragons get upset at each other, and then you have to deal with dragons beefing with each other in the skies, and then that's just not how you fight a good war.
No. Well, and one of the tactics they're using is their first pass, by what the chapter says. They're not even breathing fire yet. They're just flying overhead to strike the town with dragon fear so that they all flood the streets and can be burned.
It's a show of force. So you're just driving people out, and then your second pass is to light them on fire.
Yeah. It's interesting because the Draconian, who I guess has been accompanying the Lord all of this time, specifically, it turns out that I guess they were in negotiations with the High Lord, and that this attack is a result of the High Lord getting bored. The Draconian does say that the city will be spared after a bunch of people have died. So
after it's been taught a lesson,
they are executing some degree of restraint, maybe.
This town has some ballsy leadership. If they were like, we have absolutely nothing to fight you with, but we're going to try and get we're going to try and be stubborn about terms.
I mean, from what they said about the city is it's a big city. It had its own army. In theory, it might have had countermeasures to deal with dragon or maybe dragons.
Well, but they see there's a dragon army nearby, so they know they're not going to win this.
I mean, did they actually see the dragon army? Because I mean, if I had a dragon army, I'm not going to make it front line and center. I'm going to keep it as a nice organic surprise.
That is fair. They may not have known that there were actual dragons. They could have just been assuming dragon people. But
the dragon people, maybe there is one dragon, and if you have enough ballistas, you can take care of a dragon. But it's just kind of like you might be able to deal with one F-16, but you're not going to deal with an entire naval group's worth of F-16s.
Something that I found interesting about this initial dragon attack too was that is that it's red dragons, because I feel like the setup so far in the book would have had us expecting blue dragons, right? We get the whole thing of like,
that
the blue dragon High Lord being like, go and we're going to attack whoever, but these 3 specific people I want abducted, I want them taken alive, blah 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 blah. Very specific and explicit intentions. So when we finally get a dragon attack, it's like, oh, it's got to be the blue dragons, right? They're finally here. They're going to do this thing that we're going to see the fruit of that plotting. But no, it's actually it's the red dragon army still. it's Verminard's army, although Verminard is dead now.
Yeah, who's the new High Lord, by the way?
Oh, I think that's in chapter 8.
Yeah, like
okay. We'll talk about that in chapter 8.
Yeah, I think it's in chapter 8.
Yeah, it is interesting. I have a couple of theories, most of which comes from my time of 3.5, where red dragons are the biggest and the strongest of the chromatic dragons, so they're going to be doing your legwork. Plus, fire is inherently more destructive to a city than lightning.
Well, and also the blue dragon. It seems like the High Lords themselves are rather independent. So I don't know if it's that strategic. I think it's simply like they kind of divvy up. They probably meet and divvy up what they their goals amongst themselves, and then they have this one person above them.
And we heard Sky the dragon complaining that like, hey, blues can't really do this weather, so presumably reds can, because they just burn hot enough. They're the fire dragons, right? That they can handle the cold weather. I'm assuming whites as well, but yeah, reds and whites, those are your cold weather dragons.
Yeah, and the blues are just like meh. But it also sounds like the blues are a lot more strategic too. So
yeah,
they're probably. I think one thing we can assume now that we're finally moving into the military campaign is that a difference between the blues and the reds is that the reds, especially in the first book, the reds were driven largely by a campaign of faith. Right, they were being led by the one like priest of Tarsus. And they were picking a lot of their battles just willy-nilly wherever they went. Verminard had to punish his own soldiers for going against his orders, etc. Then we learned that the Blue Dragon Army is like a crack team that never loses anybody. So anytime we see the Blue Dragon armies attack, I think we can assume like this is a very intentional, like strategic decision. Whereas like the Red Dragon armies, maybe even more so now that Verminard is gone, are just kind of bullies blundering around the war theater, right?
Yeah, well, and that would make sense why they were so clumsy with the negotiations here, because either like they could have taken the city without burning it in a number of ways. They could have just kept negotiating, or they could have just been like, let's raise the dragons for a second. Hey, we got a dragon army. You should probably surrender, shouldn't you? There were a lot of ways they could have driven this city to surrender, but they didn't.
But they chose violence.
They did not. Yes. Because that's what they want. The red dragons, they enjoy the violence anyway.
Yeah.
And
the
it's
blue
not
dragons
like
like to lounge in hot springs and relax.
And it's not like these people of this fair city had a nice mountain to hide in.
True.
Not getting over
if
just
only,
stay in the fucking mountains, guys.
If only there had been some friendly, generous, open-hearted dwarves to let them in and feed them mushrooms.
Hell yeah.
In the darkness of a cave.
They have torchlights or magic crystals. I don't know how dwarves work.
They just see.
Well, they do have dark vision, but it's only like 30 feet worth of dark vision, so it's not very good. You're going to supplement that with torches, but probably not underground. It's so magic rocks.
Yeah. No, they'll use torches underground. Dwarves are immune to poisons. They don't worry about carbon monoxide. But
yeah, but the smoke makes everything hard to see in. Torches are terrible as a light source. But let's see. That is getting into so many of my issues with fantasy dwarves.
Yep.
So let's see here. What else is happening in here? Ooh, Sturm caught hold of Alhana in his strong arms.
And they get that very cinematic, they hide in a door frame while the street just beyond them burns. We can assume if Sturm wasn't armored, he would have gotten a little crispy his back there. I don't know if armor makes
Probably.
Dragonfire better. I feel like realistically it makes it worse. But in fantasy, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little heat-resistant armor. I don't know what it's made out of.
Wise is, I just want to point this out because Wise is doing a thing here with this moment that she does sometimes. I really love it when Wise gets kind of horny. Because, it's just caught hold of Alhana in his strong arms, right? And then she's ripped from his arms by the shrieking mob. And then, he flings himself and she's holding onto his hands with all of her strength. And he was finally able to pull her close. I'm like, Margaret Weis, they're in peril, and you're making it kind of like romantic too. My God, like this is like a first date.
Yeah. That would be a very
Screams of the
bad
dying were
first date.
heartrending.
Horrifying first date. Hauntie, I think we need to have some conversations about what you do for your first dates.
Look, psychologists say to take your first date on a roller coaster because the adrenaline and fear of the experience will bond you closer together. This is what's happening right here.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that's so interesting about this work, especially compared to a lot of works of fantasy it was releasing alongside, is it's not like Dragonlance was terribly chaste. But
not
it was also like it wasn't being crazy horny about the women, and like to most people, because Dragonlance was like being a little bit more horny about the men, it somehow at the time felt more like classy almost in a way.
Right. Well, because it leans into the not to get into like philosophy of like creativity and so on, but it leans into the tendency for women's erotica and so on to and romance to focus on on different things, right? It's less about the physical appearance of the character and more about the experience of the character. Like even here, it's like Alhana rested her head against Sturm's chest. The ancient old-fashioned armor felt cool against her skin. Its hard metal surface was reassuring, and beneath it she could feel his heartbeat somehow. Rapid, steady, and soothing. The arms that held her were strong, hard, well-muscled. His hand stroked her black hair. Like, this is doing a lot for me. This is like...
oh, my.
This is like, oh, my. Like, this is like, deeply horny, but not in a way that a lot of readers would identify as horny, because it's not pornographic, right? And that's something I really like about the Dragonlance novels.
Yeah. But I feel like, I mean, I remember I remember like my feeling reading this as like a young straight teenage boy. There was nothing uncomfortable about it either. It was just like, damn, Sturm, well done, strong impression, Yeah,
exactly. Well, and it's not meant to be uncomfortable, right? It's meant to be like to bring you in, and it's good. It's like immediate bond,
Yeah,
it's also nice
nothing
to see
explicit and all that jazz. It's I liked it.
It's also nice to see that Sturm's instant infatuation with Alhana is essentially very quickly returned once she sees him sort of it's nice because every time she gains a little bit more affection for him, like if this were The Sims, the little green plus sign above her head, it's in response to his actions. And I think for a man like Sturm who cares deeply about his actions and their and the motivations behind those actions, aka his honor, right? Like that's actually a really nice thing to see as part of her internal monologue. It's almost like these two are kind of perfect for each other, actually, because she's falling for the man that he intentionally like crafts himself into being, right?
Yeah, that he portrays.
And Alhana, of course, deals with it by saying, you know what? Why don't you keep that special diamond thing? And I'm going to run as far away as I can, as fast as I can. Goodbye.
Yeah, which is the most knightly story thing ever. Like, here is my favor. Goodbye.
Yeah, she doesn't understand how to deal with her feelings.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like later on, they're like, when Alhana has the other half of the party and is ferrying them away, they're like, oh, well, we should go back and get everybody else. Like, please, can we go back and get everybody else? What about Sturm? Don't you want to get Sturm? And she's just like,
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely not. We're not getting Sturm.
Can't do it. Nope.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You can see that, like with her goal to gather warriors to protect her people, it does make a lot of sense for her to just take a quick trip back and go get everybody else. But she's definitely not doing it just because of Sturm.
No, absolutely not. Not because of his deep, sad eyes or anything.
Or again, Kiss from a Rose playing in the background, like nearly constantly.
God. Yeah, no, she's got it bad for Sturm. She's got it real bad for Sturm.
Swept away.
She realized she was in more
quickly.
danger from his fire than 1,000 dragons.
We could talk about this all day, but we also find back at the tavern, Raistlin is attempting. Raistlin finally has enough, and he tells all of his friends, and I'm going to have to censor this, but he tells all his friends, you know what? Fucking kill yourself, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to unalive everybody here.
I got some Kool-Aid in my bag. Who wants it?
Yeah, at least that's what he tells people.
They go detailed in this plan of like, well, Lorana's not going to do it because elves don't do that. Here's how we trick Lorana.
Yeah, we tell her that it's a sleepy time potion. Or is it?
Yeah.
Or is it?
I'm pretty sure that he was just screwing with everyone because if I recall, he does describe it a little differently later on.
Well, I think the stakes are... The stakes right here seem to be remarkably high for getting caught because they have been captured so many times by Draconians in the first book. 3 times they get... But at that time, it's not like being led by a sadistic force of red dragons. It's a dragon high lord who has everyone working in mines. The stakes, like the fact that they're so freaked out about being captured by the red dragon army here, is kind of a sign to the readers that, the cute little adventure section is done. The stakes are so much higher now.
It's true.
Oh, hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Bonjour.
Did you have a disruption in your...
Oh, no, I just didn't hear anyone respond.
Oh, I thought I said something. My microphone may not.
Oh, maybe I did have a disconnection there.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, the he does, yeah, it's interesting. I think that, is it made explicitly clear? I can't remember that he's tricking Lorana by telling her it's a sleeping potion.
Yes, they do say he is specifically going to trick her.
Okay. Or is he tricking them?
I think he's tricking them because, correct me if I'm wrong, Auntie, but in 2nd edition, because in 3.5, elves are immune to that.
I'm not sure he's actually tricking them, though.
Oh.
Because if that was so... Oh, what's going on?
If that was so...
Oh, yeah. So if that was so... He would have gone a lot harder for Caramon to take the play dead poison as well. Whereas instead, he's like, yeah, Caramon, you're allowed to go down fighting.
That's a fair point, yeah.
That's fair.
That is a fair point. I also think that Raistlin wouldn't, because a side effect of them all just looking dead, right, even if their bodies were ignored, is that their stuff would be taken, and I don't necessarily think, actually, now that I consider it, that Raistlin would allow his stuff to be taken while he is feigning death. I don't think that's a world he would want to wake up to. A world without his staff or spell books or anything, right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. This do be the dark place, then.
This do be the dark place, but fortunately, Tanis and everybody arrive in time, although on the way, they discover that... Tasselhoff Burfoot has been pinned down, and Flint is quite broken up about it.
Yeah, because he is caught under a pillar that you would need 3 men or 1 Caramon to lift.
True.
And we can see throughout, a lot through this book already that, like, Flint isn't just grandfatherly. He feels like a grandfather towards a lot of these characters, and, like, he's always so annoyed by Tass, but, like, he's in shambles to think that Tass is hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tasselhoff is very much his bestie, right? Like, if it's kind of like Tanis and Sturm and Caramon and Raistlin, then it's also Tasselhoff and Flint. And we're finally getting to see some real emotion because this is the first time Tasselhoff's been in actual, peril. But But yeah, no, they have a truly deep connection. Perhaps, I mean, we may see in future books deeper than that held by even some of the other sort of friend pairings in the story.
Indeed.
And we can't forget that it's something tragic happens to the Red Dragon Inn.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Ironic, I would say, actually.
Yeah.
Something ironic happens to the Red Dragon Inn.
Well, and first before something happens to the tavern, Tanis rushes in, and we do get an important character moment where very briefly he and Lorana are reunited, and there's a big embrace, and it's a small little, like, 1 paragraph, but it seems like some healing was done in that embrace just in time to be separated again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is sort of one of those sections, I think, that, again, is touching on, like, very human experiences where the people get really caught up in their own business, right? Like Flint and Tasselhoff constantly give each other shit, right? Like, that's their friendship. Yeah. And over time, that has kind of probably put a crust over their friendship as well a little bit. But the moment, Tasselhoff is in peril, something threatens that friendship, that's the moment that Flint, the crust all breaks off, and Flint's, like, actually feels his true emotions again for Tasselhoff in a way that he can express. Same thing here. Like, that fear of loss, again, allows, Tanis and Lorana to sort of get over their own bullshit that they've been clinging to as sort of a self-defense mechanism against the peril that surrounds them. And being able to see each other is the final catalyst that lets them express what they have now been feeling because of that fear. And, so sometimes, it's like the old saying of, you gotta let the thing you love fly away. It's really about, you have to face the possibility of losing something to know how you actually feel about it. And it's nice that Weis is kind of smushing it all together right here, because even Sturm has that moment, right, where he sees the inn collapse, right, and is kind of potentially assuming that people are in it that he cares about. So big growth moments here for everybody, except Elliston.
Except Elliston. That guy doesn't remember anything.
Nah, what a jerk.
He just,
what a
jerk. Gets tossed the elf and goes, "Goodbye, Tanis."
Yeah.
As one does. One does.
Yes.
Because, I mean, whomst among us hasn't been tossed an elf?
Mm-hmm. Once or twice. They get their stuff back. They part ways.
Well, yeah. They don't part ways quite yet. Because the inn collapses on half of our party, while the other half is outside.
Yes.
And this is kind of the final remix of the party split and seeing who's going to end up with who. And I was very confused when they got arrested for a bit there, because I was like, wait a second, I definitely remember Sturm being in Lorana's team. What's going on here? And I forgot there was a final remix here where the two groups, like, change a few members around before they fully split.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You gotta jumble up the party a little bit to keep things interesting.
Yep. But yeah, these are the two parties that we're gonna have for most of this book.
Yes.
Hell yeah. And then the inn falls and everybody tragically dies at the end.
Or so Party A thinks.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, they're in the basement.
They, Raistlin, prepared to literally cast a spell at any given moment, burns his last spell slot on, I don't know, barrier or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you guys think the spell is?
He's an 8th level wizard, so I don't think it's invincibility sphere yet. I don't think he has that those spell slots.
I'm not super familiar with what would they be, like 5th level, 4th level, second edition
4th
spells?
level, I think, at level 8.
Oh yeah, but we're talking second edition.
Yeah, but it's let me have a little peek here. I can have a little
It's very important,
peek.
Listeners. We try and give you the D&D of it all.
Extremely important. A level 8
because
wizard
that's what I live in.
Yeah, a level 8 wizard in 2nd edition, and thus probably 4th, has access to 4th level spells. They up to 4th level. They can have 2 4th level spells prepared.
Okay, all right. So we need to look at the A&D wiki here for 4th level spells. That's
for
a lot of
second
spells.
edition specifically.
Yes, of course, second edition
specifically.
That is still a lot of spells. Wall of Ice might have done it.
Minor globe. It's probably minor globe of invulnerability.
Yeah. That would track.
Yeah. Either that or Odaluk's Resilient Sphere, or maybe Lehman's Secure Shelter, but I'm thinking it's minor globe of invulnerability.
Yeah, I think it's a minor globe, because I don't know what the Irresistible with Odaluk's Resilient Sphere does.
Yeah, basically the same thing. But yeah, so he casts that spell, and they're all in the basement. And
yeah, because if it's 1 foot in diameter, I assume it's only 8 feet in diameter. That's a real tight squeeze for everybody to fit in there.
You can fit them all, though. No, you can fit them all.
Yeah.
How many of them are there? How many of them are there?
Be a tight squeeze.
Gold
Raistlin,
Moon,
Tanis,
Riverwind,
Caramon,
Raistlin, Caramon. You what, 5?
5? Yeah, you can fit all those people in there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
That's like
it might
4 squares. That's basically 4 squares on a map, on a grid.
I am thinking it is. It could be either of them because they both last for 1 round, a level.
Yeah, it's 4 squares on a grid. Yeah, you could fit the entire party on.
Yeah, you could. I just wouldn't be happy about it.
So, by the way,
yes,
you guys got a favorite team in this split?
Ooh.
I'm going to have to stick with my boy Raistlin and Tanis, because one of those has a magical rescuer riding something pretty rad.
True.
I think I'm with you. I also, like, in terms of the character chemistry and stuff, I think Tanis's team is the one for me. But, remembering from the distant past, Lorana's team is the one that has the coolest shit happen to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably.
I think I'm going to say that I'm very torn. I really want to take team like Raistlin's team for so many reasons, but also I am very compelled by Sturm and Alhana, and I really want to see all of the Gilthanis nonsense that's going to be going down. But there's something about
versus Gilthanis.
There's something about
coming.
Where's Gilthanis?
You're right. No, exactly. But no, I'm saying there's something about team like the team that has like Tanis the fuckboy, Raistlin the incel, and then like 2 couples, right? like Tanis's girlfriend is gone. Raistlin's never had a girlfriend, and then like the 2 most like important like loving couples in the fucking stories are with them. So I'm like, this is a mean thing to do to the 2 boys, Tanis and Raistlin.
Yeah. What
also
is
Tika
Biku
is in,
fucking nothing?
Team Tanis.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's
the
Tika
couple.
and Caramon and Riverwind and Goldmoon. These 2 like couples that are really like meant for each other and not tragic. And then like Tanis and Raistlin.
Yeah. Well, and by extension, this grouping also doesn't just split up Tanis and Laurana. It also very intentionally splits up Sturm and Alhana.
Yes.
Yes. Does it? Is Alhana with them in the basement?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, she's not in the basement.
Oh, right.
But we hear some talk above the basement to further summarize the plot a bit more from the goblins.
Right.
Goblins. It was goblins who the Draconians sent to work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what the hell is that? Caramon heard the screech of a bird of prey, and everyone died, and then beaks were suddenly breaking through the ground because Alhana shows up on fucking griffins.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I am. Ooh, you know what? I was gonna go Team Raistlin, but I think I'm gonna pivot to Sturm and Laurana, Team Sturm Laurana, because what Elliston says to Laurana when they all have to part ways, where he basically Elliston assumes that and says to her, the assumption seems to be that Tanis is dead, right? Yeah. He's like, there's nothing you can do for them. The living need you. Your brother's hurt, so's the Kender. Draconians are invading. Tanis gave his life for you, Laurana. Don't let it be a needless sacrifice. Because now I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? The belief that Tanis is dead, unless we see that like proven wrong very quickly, is the catalyst for so much of her growth.
Yep.
And that's something that I think I missed the last couple times I've read through these books. So now I really want to see that arc.
Yeah, but how many griffins does B Team have?
I don't care about the griffins.
I care about the griffins.
I care about sad girl Laurana and her emo phase. No.
I mean,
that's
sad
a weird
girl
way
Laurana is a
great.
Sad girl Laurana is a great arc. This book.
Yeah.
And Sturm. You know what? I've changed my mind. I know the best character arcs in this book are on the Laurana Sturm team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually why Tanis and Raistlin are with the two like settled couples, because like that's the party that needs to do the least amount of like development, right?
Yeah.
Riverwind and Goldmoon are essentially settled characters for the most part. We rarely even hear from them. Caramon and Tika, like, we know where they're headed. And Raistlin just is Raistlin. And Tanis did all of his growing already in the first part of the last few chapters in terms of his relationship with Laurana. So now, yeah, we do need to see Laurana needs to grow, Sturm needs to grow. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I see what Weis did here. Yeah.
Nope. Sticking with my answer, Team Griffin.
All right.
I'm a simple man, and I'm easy to please.
So after getting pulled out by Alhana, and you know everyone goes, "Oh no, Tanis and everybody's dead." And they're mourning. And where do they go? I think in my summary I said they ran further into the city, but was I wrong there? Where do they run? Laurana's team. Where do they go after?
Let me see. Did I highlight it? Did I highlight it? I don't think I did any highlighting in chapter 8.
I don't think they go anywhere. They just say they must, like, Laurana's just like, we must go on. Farewell, Tantalus. And so they don't really say where they go.
Yeah, we're going to end up
with
a time skip for them.
Yeah.
But what we do get here is a nostalgic red dragon.
Yes. Verminard, those were the good days.
Yeah, what a time to be alive.
Got to hang out with a big beefy wrestler.
Mm-hmm. There was a dragon high lord. Not this asshole.
And this asshole is...
Toady.
It's Toad.
Fucking Toady.
It's Toad.
Why is he back?
Oh God, yeah, no, Toad. Okay, so I have thoughts about Toad being a dragon high lord, and
not the strongest pick.
Not the strongest pick, and it suggests to me that even the forces of evil don't care that much about their armies.
Yeah, like, I'm just assuming the Viewmaster was a nepotism pick. He already had on the job training.
He may have been a pick of convenience too, I suppose. But like, I feel like the way evil is supposed to work in Dragonlance, it probably goes something like this. You know, the Red Dragon army was ascendant, right, when Verminard was in charge. He was Takisis's hand-picked cleric, her chosen one, blah, 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 blah. They had the might, they had the power, they had the super cool opening music when he walked down the aisle to the ring. Then Verminard dies, and I feel like that probably means the Red Dragon army itself is no longer ascendant among the dragon armies, right? Like, they're probably just kind of like, oh, well, now you're just power with no passion, and you're a second thought now, right? We're gonna move on to the next super cool badass Dragon High Lord. They're the new ascendant force in the dragon armies. And so that may even be more so why I think the Red Dragon army now is just kind of like the bully force. They're just the shock troops at this point. They don't offer anything other than overwhelming violence. So, and I think Toady just really cements that. Like, whoever's in charge of the dragon armies, I think they named him, it's Lord Ariakan, is probably just over them, right? He's not even thinking about them anymore. That's the only thing I can conclude.
That could be it. I think there's another reading as well that's a little more subtle, which could be that Verminard was a bit of a jealous leader, and it seemed like he wasn't exactly raising successors or anything. He was probably doing that evil thing where, like, anyone who could challenge him was gotten rid of. And I don't have a lot of evidence to support that, other than that being how evil often works. But the one scene that sticks out to me from the first book for how Verminard treated his subordinates was with the slaughter of the Quayshu tribe. Verminard, like, killed a bunch of his troops because they, like, refused to execute prisoners. And that, to me, suggests a couple things. It suggests that, number one, he's not exactly a gentle taskmaster here with his subordinates. So I assume the lifespan of people beneath Verminard was probably pretty low, in which case someone who's a complete lickspittle like Toad is probably the exact type of guy who'd be highest ranked under him. Because like nobody else would be left. The other thing is, like, if we're like, depending how dark and gritty we are with this, like, I mean, in World War II, like, when the Nazis tried to just have their, like, SS soldiers, like, slaughter civilians and innocents, turns out that's how you just absolutely destroy some people. Even if they're bastards. Even the SS were, like, destroyed as humans when they would do this. So, like, yet another example of, like, all the people who do what Verminard says end up just, like, ruined, useless people. So who was going to replace Verminard? Well, no one competent. Either someone insane because he had, like, destroyed them as humans, or a lickspittle like Toad.
Yeah, just an asshole. I think that's pretty accurate as well. I mean, this is sort of the thing in Dragonlance. There's always this evil is summarized by this sort of cosmic axiom of like, evil consumes itself. Yeah. Right. And that is exactly what we're seeing here. The deceit, the intentional deceit and smokescreen between Ember and Verminard, which ultimately led to both of them being undone, is continuing to spiral and sort of infect and consume the Red Dragon army, right? Yeah. It's continuing to have an impact. But there is another Dragon High Lord in this chapter.
Yes, there is.
a much more cool Dragon High
And
Lord.
I do like the moment that this Dragon High Lord, it like gets hit with the red, being like, "You're not the boss of me. We're not even in the same dragon army." And this High Lord just squares up to this dragon, is like, "Yeah, I'm tough enough to command you, though, aren't I?"
Yep. But they say it in such a way too, right? Because it's like, they're like, "Why would you do this?" And they're like, "The fate of mankind is my business, and the might of my sword arm gives me all the right I need to command you." But then they say gallant red, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're not being like, "You little bitch, I'm in charge." Like, they're being like, I'm strong enough to tell you what to do, you noble bastard. Like, like, you know, and I'm like, that's pretty cool, actually. That, like, says, again, reinforces the character of this person. Yeah, as, like, they see the dragons as, like, peers, right? Not just peers in power, but, like, as peers, as people who deserve respect and admiration. And they give it.
Yeah.
And that seems to be one of their strengths as a leader.
And, I mean, you gotta placate to the dragon's inherent arrogance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, still a red dragon, my money is squarely on a red dragon for just stepping on a person.
Well, you know, I mean, because, you know, even at the end, though, of their whole interaction where Dragon High Lord tells the red dragon to, like, leave and to capture the 3 people they're after and all this other stuff, right? And then the Dragon High Lord leaves. Even then, like, the 2 red dragons, the one red dragon is like, "Nah," they're like, "Shouldn't we give chase?" And the one red dragon's like, nah, I'm not messing with them. Like, about the Dragon High Lord. Like, out of, like,
it's
fear,
above my
out of
pay
respect,
grade.
you know? Yeah, like, an impression was made. An impression was made.
Indeed.
Yes.
So, and then we get a great griffin chase, which is over pretty fast in the chapter. I kind of missed it. I thought they were having the conversation on Griffin back, and then suddenly there was a thing of, like, and then Raistlin nestled up near the fire, and I was like, wait a second, I missed something here.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Oh, during what? Okay,
they describe the chase, but they, like, it's mostly just the griffins are flying with the dragons ever present on their back. Trying to find secret spots to rest so the griffins can get some sleep, because, you know, they require sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although that was skipping a conversation with Alhana, is it? Yes.
It is skipping a conversation with Alhana. Alhana and Tanis have an argument.
About whether or not humans are stinky and Sylvanesti elves are pure, beautiful angels who never did anything wrong.
Yeah, which is perhaps, I think this moment might, in fact, be why we were introduced to an atypical Sylvanesti at the very beginning, right? As our first Sylvanesti elf, because now she can have this argument with him. And we know that, like, deep down, it's like that actually a lot of the things she says are probably coming from a place of just, like, spontaneous anger rather than, like, authentic xenophobia and hatred, right?
Yep.
Because she's like, "You humans and half humans." Like, she's just trying to be mean, you know? She's not trying to, like, she's not actually saying something she necessarily believes, because we've seen her reaction to Sturm, and we've seen the way she kind of shut Tanis down on his internalized, like, self-hatred. Like, it makes this a bit more palatable and doesn't cause us, I think, to reject her as a character. Yeah. It now makes sense to me.
And yeah, it's kind of just really a section of, like, and you're coming with me to Sylvanesti, whether you like it or not. Your friends are back there, and you're worried about them. Oh well.
Yeah. The cold calculation of someone whose entire life has been politics.
Yeah, and I mean, what are they going to do about it? Turn around and walk?
Right? Yeah.
She has all the griffins.
She does have all the griffins, and
It's
she knows
over,
where there's a
Anakin.
dragon.
I have the griffin.
And she knows where there's a dragon orb.
Yeah, which I believe is going to be a very important doohickey If dragon orbs are anything like what I think they are, and from my time of 3.5.
It could
they are the very same artifact.
Yeah, they're the ones that just let you control dragons.
Yep, which Tasselhoff already explained. I do like what Tanis says here before we move on from this conversation. I think it's very good writing. Someday the elves will wake up and find they are members of a vast family. No longer can they be treated as the spoiled elder child who is given everything while the rest of us wait for crumbs. I'm like, that's some like civil rights talking right there, right? Like that's a good bit of poetry from Tanis. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the boy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Tantalus.
Good old Tanis. Yep. And then he's like, "Why didn't you take Sturm?" And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Don't worry about it."
I don't even like that guy. Who? What was that guy's
Sturm,
name?
never heard of him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the Sturm you people are talking about?
Could she be, since Dragonlance does kind of predate a lot of anime, Will, and you've done some research into the anime fantasy D&D connection.
Yeah.
Could Alhana be one of the first tsunderes?
Maybe.
It's
possible. It's possible.
It's kind of looking
tsundere
like
Alhana. Yeah. Alhana tsundere breeze.
Stupid. Stop talking to me.
Let's see.
And then we get Raistlin explains what the dragon orbs are to Gold Moon, and he goes into a bit of a trance, one of his little psychic things that he does sometimes.
Yeah. He
He's
recalls
like,
the history.
yes, you're going to be absolutely destroyed if you use this thing without being a top-tier magic user. And Alhana goes like, oh no, but my father wanted to use the orb, and he didn't take levels in magic user. He's just an elf class that lets him use spells. Oh no.
Exactly. Ooh, rough. Very rough. Oh, it's also when we learned that we finally learned about 3 moons.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the normal moon, the 3? Chaos moon, and the evil moon.
I do love the ideal.
The neutral moon.
I do love the idea of the black moon being like invisible in the sky.
Oh yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite conceits, and I've actually incorporated something similar into my D&D homeworld in the past. It's such a good like notion that only the evil can see it, and so like when you are evil, like there's just this thing in the night sky that like you can't deny it at that point.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. You evil people in the world of Dragonlance don't have the luxury of telling themselves that they are not evil. They know that they serve the forces of evil once they are actually fully on that side. And I love that because I think it actually opens up, unlike a lot of people, I think it actually opens up the motivations of a villain to be really dynamic and interesting, because you suddenly have to answer this question of like, why are they choosing to do this? Like, not why are they lying? Why do they think they're doing it? Why are they actually doing it? Why did they go this far? You know? And I'm like, perfect. Perfect. My favorite.
It's solid. I love the dark fantasy angle of it.
The older I get, the more I agree with you. I still have objections to them wearing the black robes, because why would you indicate to anyone walking around that you're the baddie?
Mm-hmm. Well,
but that's just an ish-me.
Yeah, like wizards.
I get that there's a pride and all of that jazz, but like, nah, dude.
Well,
they gotta.
The thing you're forgetting is that, even if you're a wizard wearing white robes, the people are still probably just as hostile to you under circumstances.
Exactly. The people were just as hostile toward all wizards, so it's not really even important.
True. I don't know. I know which one I would be more hostile towards. I know which one I might try to shoo out of my village with, like, a broom and some harsh words. I know which one I'd be throwing, grabbing the torches and pitchforks for.
No, see, the people that this is, you're getting this all wrong. The people of Dragonlance are old school fantasy people, which means those who don't possess magic fear it. If a black robe mage shows up anywhere and people know what the black robe means, that they are evil and calculating and that they aren't going to care about something like preserving the lives of the people around them, they're not going to go after them. They're going to run away from them. And,
I don't know. I think you're underestimating the stupidity of people.
No, if you were a little old lady in a village, you might shoo away the white robe wizard, sure. But the moment a black robe wizard gets into town, you're probably falling to your knees and begging for them to leave you alone. But also importantly is something to keep in mind is that the wizards of Dragonlance derive their magic from the three moons, from three gods, right? And thus they are, in essence, a religious order, even though they are not clerics. And so they dress themselves in the colors of their respective gods. To do otherwise would be an insult to the god who gives you your magic.
Yes.
Still just a bad maneuver.
Yeah. Plus, black looks so good.
Yeah, black does look super cool, but I'm just saying, if I was an evil wizard, I'd be repping the white robes.
Oh, no. I think also here...
And insult the moon?
Yeah, come on.
You know what? I think the moon would, if it's a truly evil moon, I think it would appreciate the fact that I'm pulling a fast one over on the forces of good.
No, because they're not like that. You gotta also keep in mind that the three gods of magic are not in conflict with each other, unlike the other gods. It's a good god, a neutral god, and an evil god who are triplets. They're siblings. They love each other very much, and they have committed themselves fully to the interests of magic and nothing else. Their parents' generation, the boomer gods over there, can go and do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah,
but the gods of magic are going to be over here hanging out, getting along.
I have a bunch of siblings. Hard to disagree there. Yeah, we love each other.
You're not triplets though. You're not. Triplets.
You don't know that.
I do know that. You would have mentioned it.
You know that, Will, because you've met them, but Auntie doesn't know that.
Yes. But more importantly than Austin's trolling, something that is interesting is after the three moons are mentioned, Tanis says, "What do you mean about the three moons?" And Raistlin's like, "What are you talking about? Three moons?" Which is interesting because Raistlin knows everything. So
Raistlin knows absolutely everything, and he doesn't know this.
So the question here is he lying, or have the black robes and other forces of evil just kept it a secret so well that even Raistlin doesn't know about it?
I'm liable to think it's that one, which then leads us to wonder, who's the person giving the information about the evil moon?
Ooh. I was going to say, because like Raistlin doesn't lie, but he did lie to Lorana at one point about a poison, so...
Yeah, but like, I don't know, that one's a morally gray area for that lie.
Yeah, true.
So we're running real long on time, so let's wrap up this chapter. There's not too much, and then I will assign the readings.
So what else is there? So there's a lot more history about the dragon orbs, where it came from. Destruction of the towers. How could they be defeated? Like the towers of high sorcery, etc., which are now probably going to be their goals. Yep, they're naming them. Like the Tower of Wayrith, which is the coolest tower. Tower of Palanthus, less cool. It's a pretty cool tower.
It comes from the days when, people used to have wizard towers. Man, I wish I had a wizard tower.
Mm-hmm. Tanis keeps going on about the third moon to Alhana, and Alhana knows a little bit about it, actually.
Because Alhana is evil, I get you.
No, she just says that the magic users of the black robes are able to see it. So maybe not even everyone who's evil can see it. It might just be the black robe wizards. I'll need to reread the rules. But they get, again, more history. Tower of Istar was abandoned. King Priest was destroyed. And then we get we get a tower here that the gates, they're talking about one tower, the Tower of Palanthas. This is the important one. We get the little prophecy here that a wizard threw themselves, like put a curse on the tower from the upper window, saying that the gates to the tower will remain sealed and the tower will be empty until the day when the master of past and present returns with power. And then he throws himself out the window, dies on the gates, and his death curse takes shape and seals the tower against anyone who would try to enter it. Boom.
Now that's how you protect a wizard tower.
Yeah.
That's some real wizard gaming.
Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna fuck with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can respect any wizard who curses a tower.
Yeah. So now I guess they have to go and find the Tower of Palanthas and presumably someone who is the master of both past and present.
So true. And
perhaps
all of that,
who knows?
They will get started on next time.
Yeah.
So let me assign. This one's a real easy. This one's a real easy one to assign. We're going to read all the way till the end of book 1, which is still only like 30 pages. That seems way so fast that we're end of book 1 in this.
Yeah.
But
I think it's because it just ended like a lot sooner, because book 1 broken up was solidly halfway, 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there
I think
3
Winter
books
Night
in
is
this
just,
one? Or?
I feel like Winter Night is just a faster read in general too, in part because it's so engaging.
Yeah, because I mean, I not because of a book or anything, but just because of who I am, I have issues with sitting down and reading, and I kind of blew through this and no problems.
Yeah.
It's real good. It's way better than the first one, and the first one was already pretty good.
Yeah,
anyway,
I would agree to that.
It's probably time for us to end the episode and completely ignore the star jewel that Alhana gave Sturm being an actual magic item.
Yeah. Well, we already kind of discussed that earlier.
That was a magical item. It connects lovers or something. I don't know. Read the book.
And Tannis goes, "Oh my god!" Okay, episode done.
He was so
all right.
gallant,
Goodbye.
so
Hey,
brave.
goodbye. Listeners.
Goodbye.
We love you.
We love
Farewell.
you very much.
Get out of here,
guys. Did you know I gave the viewers an elven lover gem? Did you know that?
Did you?
We at least 2/3 of the hosts of It's Called a Lance love you.
I'm gonna go put my black robes on now and go make myself some dinner.